Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting VFX tutorials. And today we're going to use Adobe After Effects for this example. And we're going to try to recreate this scene. It's a scene we did for a music video. And we're going to use some basic lighting and camera stabilization and lightning effects, some sparks, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, so let's jump right back into After Effects. Okay, so here in After Effects we need to import our footages, and so we need to go to our desktop, and right here on my desktop I have the footages here. So all I need to do is to get these files and drag them to Adobe After Effects. You might not see it there, but just drag it here to our project, and then we need to get our main footage and drop it into a new comp. So it's this guy. Now when I did this, I converted it to an MP4 so it's smaller for this example. That's why we can see some black ugly artifacts here. So I need to press S, select the footage and press S to scale it, and then make it a bit bigger, maybe 101%. Okay, so let me remove this sound here. Now if I drag this timeline, we can scrub through it and we can see some problems we have. It's a little bit shaky. I do not own a Steadicam or a Flycam. I did this by using the tripod, like a Flycam. So we're gonna have to deal with that problem, and we're gonna have to deal also with this problem we're having where it's muddy picture, it's an overcast day, it's cloudy. So we're gonna do a little bit of color correction. Okay, so let's begin. First, let's increase our timeline, because if I drag this other footage here, this is the part where she gets hit by the lightning, of course, right there. Bam. So let's increase our timeline. Control K, composition settings, and then let's add 20 more, so 30 seconds in this case. Alright, so if I increase that, we can now see that we have enough space. So let's just drag this here and then right click and trim comp to work area. Alright, so first let's fix this problem where it's shaky by clicking the item and then going to animation and warp stabilizer, or you can go right here in my case. Okay, so right away it will try to analyze in the background, and you see, but I will change this to right about 6 or 7 depending on your footage. If you have a more space in your footage, you can do 10, so it's smoother. But right here where it's almost cut off, I was too close to the subject, so I can just do some 7%, where the small shakiness of the handheld will be eliminated, so it's a little bit smoother. So we're going to wait until this is finished. I'm gonna pause the recording and I'll see you when this is finished in 2 minutes. Okay, now that's finished, you can see that the image zoomed in a little bit. So if you toggle this effects, you can see the difference. It's the solution to compensate for the process of stabilization. So the bigger the number, the smoother it is, but it gets zoomed in more. So to run preview, let's hit 0 on our numpad. So this is what it looks like in real time. So it's smoother. Alright, real smooth. If you want to see it without the warp stabilizer, okay, see the difference. Let me press 0 in a numpad. You can see the shakiness, the jerkiness right there. You see that? Okay, so we've solved the problem by using the warp stabilizer. Okay, let's proceed to the next step. First, we will have to add the lightning. So the key here is to look for the part where my finger hits the tablet. We're going to send the lightning. We can scrub through the timeline, and in our keyboard we can press the page up and page down to move through frames. Okay, so right about here I'm going to click my item, this guy, and then hit the star button to create a marker. So this will remind me where the effect is going to happen. Now we're going to add the lightning right here, right? So here in our timeline, let's click new and then solid, and it has to be black color. Hit OK, and let's call this lightning. Alright, hit OK, and then we're going to use a very old plugin. Go to Effect, Obsolete, and Lightning. Or you can go here to Effects and Presets and type in Lightning. And it will show you two types of lightning, the advanced one and the obsolete. But we're going to use the obsolete. Why? Because it has some features that the advanced lightning doesn't have. So right away, when you drag it to the solid layer, it will give you a preview of what this looks like. So when you scrub it, it has this cool effect, right? But we're going to have to customize it to our needs. Alright, so first off, let's figure out a way to make it like transparent, see-through. So one way is, if you have a black background, you can go to mode and look for a good transform mode. Maybe the usual ones are multiply, but it didn't work here. So you can try add, and most likely we will use add. Sometimes you can use screen, but add is stronger for purposes of light and overlays. You can use screen, but the overlay here will affect the colors behind it and overlay the black to it. But the screen will just it's like a glass. Now the add will add the color and disregard the black. Okay, so first off, let's adjust it to our needs. Now by dragging the start point, because it's going to start here at the tablet. Let's scrub through it right here. If you press shift, it will snap while you're dragging the cursor. So here, and then the end point should be right about here. So now the settings here will be up to you to play around, but the segments will show you the amount of like the jaggedness of this, you know. So right about maybe 7 maybe or 8 will do. Now the amplitude is the like the power of the electricity. That's the amplitude. So the higher that is, the more like intensified the amplitude of it will be. So I like to put it around the default value of 10. Now the detail level will be the amount of details it has, so it's much straighter, as you can see, if it's 0. So let's add a little bit of detail to make it more like lightning. Alright, now the amplitude again of the detail will be how much it looks like a root of a tree, maybe. So I'm not gonna worry about this. Maybe 0.4 will do for me. A little bit detail. Now the branching is the important part. It tells you how many branches it will have. So I don't want too much branch, so maybe 0.1. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's good enough for me. 0.1 will do. And the branches of the branch will be rebranching. I wouldn't worry about that. The angle will be the angle of that guy. Wouldn't worry about that. The segments, how many and how long would it be? So leave it at default for me right now in this example. The speed will be when you're playing it like so. If I press 0, you can see the speed of how it fluctuates. So if I play it, you can see the difference. So as you can see, I have too much craziness, right? So let's bring it down, people. Bring it down, bring it down. Alright, so I like that. So I had it with branch 0.02. Alright. Now I want to make it a little bit bigger. So the speed's okay. Maybe too much, too fast. And the width will determine the size of this thing. But I want to keep the blues. As you can see, the blues there, you can change it, by the way, by clicking this. But I like the blue as is. The core width, if you increase it too much, you will lose the blues. So a little bit of that and a little bit of this. Alright. Wait a minute, what am I doing? Now I accidentally changed this width variation. It'll change the variation of the width. So here it's big, it's small, it's big, so I don't like that. Put that to 0. This is the one I want to change. It's too much. Make it smaller. Maybe like so. Alright. And maybe that's it. The pull force will be, it will change the curve, and you can even change the direction. You can play around with this on your own. But right now, we'll put this at default. Reset, right click and reset. And then that's it. You can play around with these things on your own. Now we have to animate the direction or the start and the end points of this. So go to the part where the effect is going to happen, and then to make it bigger so you can see the timeline better, you can hit plus on your keyboard and minus to minimize. So I can zoom into this by dragging this part or hitting plus and minus. So I'm gonna maybe maximize there, and then I'm going to hit the stopwatch on my endpoint. Okay, and then click the target, and it's going to start here, right? So if I'm going to press page down on my keyboard, so I can move down maybe 1-2 frames by hitting page down. I can drag this forward. Remember, I'm dragging the endpoint. Should be. Alright, correct. Here. Now, while that layer is selected, you press U to show the keyframes. So let me hit plus on my keyboard to zoom in. you have successfully created a keyframe from this point in time to this point in time, and After Effects will create the animation for that. So when I press the button, it will shoot forward, and then after some time it should move forward also. Okay, so now let's minimize this, press 0, drag it a bit here, page up, page down. So I'm going to drag this here, automatically creates keyframe for us, couple of frames, maybe 10 frames after, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right about there. So let's play this back. So right here, let's start the animation here, so press B, and right here press N, and then we can hit the RAM preview by pressing 0 on our numpad, or here. So this is real time now. Is it too fast, right? It's too fast. Okay, so by looking at it, I want it to be faster in this part, so 1 frame after, but the amplitude, no, the speed of the vibration is too fast for me. So let's change the speed to about 7. So that's good. Let's see it. Press 0. That works. Okay, so that's good. We may have to animate this part also, but not now. Okay, checking the animation, I can see that we're lost somewhere here, so let's pull this somewhere here. Okay, here. Okay, fixing some adjustments. So let's start to fade this in and fade this out. Alright, so click the item and then press T to show the opacity settings, and then right about maybe here, page up, page down to see where it should appear. So maybe here, let's hit the opacity and then click plus. So that's 100%, right? Should fade in. So move back in time, page up, and then let's put 0. So it's going to fade in. Should be 0, right? 0, alright. You know what? Let's drag this both a frame before. Alright, that looks better. And then here at the end, let's fade it out. Right here, maybe, depends on you. Hit this to add another keyframe. So it's going to be 100%, and page down, and 0. Okay, let's hit 0 on our numpad. Ooh. Looks good. You can still adjust it if you want. Now let's proceed to the next problem. Our next problem will be adding the assets. So let's go back to our, let's minimize this and go back to our project right here, and let's add some more fun stuff. Let's add the, let's see, firecracker maybe. Where'd it go? Right here. Whoop. Where is it? You know what? Let's press minus on our keyboard. Plus, alright, here. should be here, right? So this animation looks like this. It's like a spark. It's too fast, but that'll do. Let's put it when it hits her. So right about here, this frame, right? Page down, page up. So let's drag this here and drag the item here. Maybe we can, I don't know, rotate this. Okay, even stretch it a little bit. You can play around with this transform modes also. You can put add or screen to it. Screen, okay, much better. Let's preview that. Press 0. Yeah, it's too fast, right? Let's add one more. Let's add a charge. Drag it to our comp. And this time let's drag it here. Okay. And then same. Let's drag it. Time it the right way. Okay. So we need to position it correctly. Let's hide this for a while and let's see what's going on. Right about here. Let's observe the location. So I want it to be downwards, so let's rotate this. Oh, not too much. A little bit like that. Hits her here. Okay, that works. Let's change this to screen also, so it's not too much color. Okay, that's it. The tutorial's finished. No, not yet. We have to have some reactive lightning. You know, when lightning hits you, everything goes bright. So let's add a new layer, solid one. Change this color to white, and let's call this the flash, maybe flash of light. And then we can add it here. So let's trim this. Maybe alt open bracket, so it happens here and maybe ends here also. Alt close bracket, square bracket. Alright, so it's going to happen here, and then let's change this to overlay maybe, and then let's use the ellipse tool to create a mask. So right now we're masking the flash, and then we will hit MM on our keyboard, and then maybe feather this, I don't know, 100. Let's drag this until we're satisfied. About like that. You know what? I'll add some mask expansion and drag this more like so. And then we're going to add a an expression, so that this opacity will change over time, like rapidly. To do that, we're going to hit Alt and click this stopwatch, and then let's remove this expression here and type in wiggle, W-I-G-G-L-E, open parenthesis, and then a number. This will be the times the amount of times it will happen, comma, and then the amount, maybe how much change will there be. I'll say about 90. I don't know, and close parenthesis and click out. You know what, let's change this, Control Z, and then it will, if you look at the opacity, it will change in time when I scrub. Okay, so that's cool. Maybe we can animate this also by hitting MM a couple of times until this appears, and then hit the mask path so we can animate, and then at the end time or right before page up, we can double click the mask and then just follow her. So this will follow her. You know what, let's drag this until here, here also, and that works. If you do not like the amount of brightness it gives us, you can reduce the mask opacity to about 85%. Let's see that. Press 0. RAM preview this. Alright. Let's change this to 50%. It's not dramatic. To make it more dramatic, you can... Oh, I see. We didn't have the firecracker. Let's open that guy. That's why. Alright. And then the fireworks, the charge, it's too slow for me, you know? So let's change the time on that. Let's make him faster by right clicking the item and then hit time stretch, and then maybe speed it up to about 50. So you can see change. It will become faster. Alright, that's better. I think we're finished with stage 2. Let's save that. Now the rest of these things that I'll be doing now will be just additions, you know, just bonus. Okay, right here, page down, let's look for that item here, this frame. Let's hit this and hit star. I want the marker right here, and then let's add the slow sparks, maybe here, and then what part, maybe right about here, this part. I like that part. Let's trim it right there. I'm hitting plus and just trimming this, timing this right there. I like this part. Okay, so let's right click this and then resize it by going to transform and fit to comp with, and then let's go to screen again and then drag this here, right? And then rotating this, maybe it's distorting. Oh, hit Control Z. I mean, you know, it's making it look nice. Okay, let's see. Press 0, and then doof, and then you can see the sparks on the left. That's subtle, but it will give a more realistic effect. Just a little bit of adjustments here. See that? Hit B and then RAM preview that. Alright, it looks good actually. I might drag it more here to emphasize. And then next, let's add sparks to her. Where she stands. Let's look for that part right in this frame. Page down, this frame. I'm gonna click this again and hit star and drag and drop the sparks to our timeline. Okay, make sure it's in the right place. And I like the same part, right here, this guy. It's perfect. So I'm gonna trim this right there and then drag this. I'm gonna click shift and drag my cursor items by holding the shift so that it will snap. Right click again and then transform, fit to comp with, and then change this to screen maybe. And then let's just position this right on top of her. Let's see. You know what? I want more. Okay. Yes, perfect. Now we need to add a mask here. You know what? Right here, I think. This is the best part. Oh yeah. So I'm going to enlarge this, position it right in front of her, and then when it hits her, right here maybe, add some more, fine tune this. Alright, and then add the mask to her. Okay, and then hit MM on your keyboard and then subtract this and then feather it a bunch, about 50. Let's see it. Looks great. Maybe 65. Hit 0 to RAM preview. Alright, looks great. And for our final step, I think let's see everything. Let's see all of it. I think we're finished. I'm hitting 0 to preview, RAM preview everything. Is there something we missed? I hope my memory can take all of this punishment. I'm recording the screen at the same time. Okay. Alright, so I saw something here that there was a space in between, so let's just drag this guy here. Actually, I don't want the part where the camera moves up, tilts up. You'll see a part here there the camera tilts up. It's weird, so I'm gonna trim that out right there. It's gonna be a smooth transition. Okay. For a final effect, usually we don't do this at the effects part. Usually you put this to add it to all of your videos when you're combining it in your Premiere or Final Cut. But sometimes you do it here when in special cases. So let me show you how to do that. You create a new adjustment layer, and we'll call this CC or color correction, and then we can add a 3 color, but I'm going to use Colorista. Any color correction plugin will do, which has this three-way color what do you call this, selectors, I think. And then to do this, you just have to drag this guy. This is the basic way of color correcting, grading rather. And then push this to compensate for the shadows going to the blues. So when you look at the dark parts of this video, like the dark part of the clouds, is going to turn into blue, right? But not too much, right about here. And then to compensate with that, you're going to move the highlights up to the opposite direction, and maybe darken the shadows a little bit here. And then, you know what, I want to darken it more. And then here, lighten this to add more contrast. And I'm going to add some saturation because I used a Canon T2i, maybe 20. I used a T2i with a Cine style with it. Okay, and the last thing is, since I'm not using the red or the other high definition cameras super high, I'm going to add in an unsharp mask. Alright, a little bit, about 3 or 5, and then maybe 60 here. That just makes it sharper. If you can see it, you can see the difference. Maybe in YouTube you cannot see the difference much, but when you're using your computer, when you save it, you can see the difference. You can add more actually, like 6, 70. And there you go. That's it, I think, for this video. I'm going to trim this and then trim this here. Trim to comp, right click, and then to save it. To save it, you go to composition. To render it, add to render queue, and then go to the output module and change this to QuickTime and QuickTime. This should be photo JPEG and about 91% or 299. Uncompressed audio. Hit OK. The output should be 4.1 thousand kilohertz. Excuse me, 16-bit, and then hit OK. Then you just specify an output location. In this case, let's put it in our desktop. Call it the way you want it. Maybe Lightning, and render it up. So that's how to do this effect. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please like and subscribe my videos if you like. Thanks for watching. I'm Jordan Reyes, and we will see you next time.